So, welcome to No Shame, episode 21. Absolutely flying through these episodes. The last one that we had was a little bit of a deep conversation. Not as light as we usually keep it here, but I had to be said. It was stuff that was going on my mind. I hope you liked my little theory on it all. And it was as respectful as I could keep it. But today, I have an absolutely inspirational woman on the sofa here today. Someone that I've been watching for a long, long time. I'm not stalking you, I believe. But someone I've been watching on Instagram and social media presence. And I suggest that you follow her page after this show and you'll know what I'm on about. So someone that balances raising a kid, work, training, competing, travelling, a million different things that are going on, and it looks busy. It makes me tired watching you sometimes. But I have Leah McCourt on the couch here today, so it's great to have you in.
Thanks for having me.
Inspirational to have you here.
Thank you.
And so I'm just literally going to go straight into it. How this all happened. So what? Leah is a professional female fighter. Leah's came up through the amateur ranks. You've been in the World Championships. You did the European as well, didn't you?
Yeah, World and Europeans.
So the Worlds, the Europeans. She has been an advocate for women's MMA, especially in Northern Ireland and in the south of Ireland. You were teaching classes in MMA and spreading the good word, even spreading the gospel according to Leah McCourt. But I think that's what the sport needs. It's now starting to grow. I think the new age of people that are not just competing in MMA but are developing the future of things. So you grew up in Northern Ireland, so let's go back all the way to the start of the story.
Yeah. So I'm from Belfast originally, and when I was a child, my dad had 3 girls, and he was like, you need to know how to defend yourself.
Where's your dad from?
He's from Liverpool.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of a Scouser, and he was like obviously overprotective dad, and he was like...
Can you do a good accent on it? Can you
do
it? How did he say it to you?
I can't.
You have to do it. I try to do it sometimes, but it comes out Australian.
I sound like I'm from Dublin when I try and do a Scouse
accent.
Go on. No, I can't.
You try one.
No, because
okay.
I can't do it.
Lee, you gotta defend yourself. That's
terrible.
Because that was worse for me. And I live with one, you know what I mean? And I live with one.
No, so he was like, you have to learn how to defend yourself. So
you had 3 girls.
Yeah, so he sent us to judo classes, and I hated it so much. Like, I used to dread, ever since I was like 6, I used to dread going on Thursday night to judo. I just hated it. And
where did you do judo in Belfast?
It was in Beaver Community Centre, and like we council stayed at a leisure centre and they had judo classes on, but I was quite good. I was on the Northern Ireland judo squad and travelled and competed for like maybe 5 or 6 years.
Well, in judo,
yeah, in judo, and then
not bad for something that you despised.
Yeah, I could do like one throw and just did that on everybody.
But you know what? We find it that used to hands. We said people
get one good technique and that's it. Yeah.
I've got to show you all of them, but you're just gonna find one and then just more than everyone.
Yeah. Exactly. So then, so I started off with a grappling background. I stopped doing judo whenever I started doing horse riding. I started competitively, like show jumping, a bit of a transition.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did a bit of horse riding myself now.
Did you?
I did myself now, but these were not the types of horses that you were probably riding, Lee, you know? These were like a blanket off your ma's washing line and half of your ma's washing line. And they were wild horses.
So it wasn't a real horse?
No, they were real horses, yeah, but they were just wild. Where I come from, horses are big. You know what I mean? But they won that down off the fields.
No way.
Yeah, we used to make up a reins.
That's crazy.
Now, the amount of times like I had mates that were kicked in the head. I never got kicked myself.
Horse riding is more dangerous than MMA. Like,
100%.
So scary. I remember used to going into do like cross country or going out in the hunts, and I was like, I'm on a live animal. Like I used to fall off, nearly break my back horse riding.
They have their own mind, like.
Yeah, it's mental. So I like completely fell in love with horse riding. I like the way I am now with MMA, I like used to write out my training schedules for my horses. Like, we're going to train this, and try and work on all the different areas and be like an obsessed psychopath about like trying to train my horses.
That's a good little sign though that structure usually just fits into anything.
Yeah.
The horse. Tell you a funny thing. Well, not say a funny thing. I think about jockeys, as you were saying about horse riding being more dangerous than MMA. I got 2 back surgeries, and I got to spend some time in a place called the Matter, which is a spinal unit.
Is that in Belfast? No.
No, it's here.
Okay.
No, it does actually sound Belfast.
There is the Matter, yeah.
Doesn't it? The Matter. It sounds it, doesn't it? But when I was in the spinal unit, everyone around me was jockeys.
Yeah.
Right? And then there was one woman on the ward that fell off the window cleaning our windows. But I remember I saying a conversation with a guy next to me, and he was only about 21, and he was at the farm up a horse and broke his back, and he was having a conversation with his ma about how he's never going to walk again.
No way.
And I remember being there like, I'm okay, I'm grand.
Yeah.
Like, and that was a weird situation.
That's insane.
Most of the whole ward was full of jockeys.
Yeah, it's so dangerous.
And the guy next to me was explaining to me, like, if you fall in sand and stuff like that, is it
not too
different?
bad,
You
yeah.
know, is that more difficult, or is it? It might
It
have gone
depends.
wrong.
If you're out in the field, it probably, you fall. It's when the horse falls with you. If you're out doing cross country and the horse falls and lands on you, that's usually whenever there's, like, you go, say you're out and doing the racing and you're going over a jump and then the horse goes down with
And
you.
it goes on top of you,
yeah.
yeah.
That's where it gets bad.
Like, I
Especially when
couldn't-
you're training on like wet grass and stuff. It is crazy.
I remember getting on, as I said, one of them wild horses when I was small. What
Like
horse?
Tiernan Oak.
Yeah, that's what it was, Tiernan Oak. My uncle's name's Tiernan. Maybe after that, Tiernan Oak. Getting on the horse, jumped on the horse, and the thing went in reverse, Leah, right? And there's a main road behind my house. Well, all of a sudden I'm in the middle of a main road. There's like there's buses and all. Like, you know what I did?
Yeah.
Just bailed.
Yeah.
Legged it.
That's the best thing you can do.
Bailed and legged it. I was like, but the horse went in reverse, man. Had no force gear. Couldn't find it anyway.
That's so funny.
And like, how many years did you do that for?
So then I did about 5 years competitively horse riding, and then like had like a freak developed an allergy towards horse riding. Couldn't go near them. My face come out in lumps. I have really bad asthma. I couldn't breathe. Like really bad allergies. Yeah, I just developed it when I was maybe like 14 and had to stop. Like I tried for like a year to try and keep going. I would just make myself sick. I ended up in A&E. So I had to stop.
Know that.
Yeah.
That is mad.
So
And
weird.
That can happen.
Yeah,
You just develop an allergy.
Yeah, your skin changes every 7 years, and whatever way mine change, like your body, I don't know, renew itself. And I had to completely not stop horse riding. And then after I had Isabella, I was like 18 or 19, and I like from I was a kid, I used to watch like Bruce Lee movies, boxing, like I loved martial arts, like completely obsessed.
I said it's between your dad as well, having 3 girls.
Yeah,
Sticking on.
that's true. Buying me Bruce
Sitting
Lee
back,
movies.
you know, sticking on Van Damme movies and Bruce Lee movies.
That's so true. Because I always had done judo, so I had never done any striking. So I was like, I want to just go and do it. And I started training in a kickboxing gym. Did like a 6-week kickboxing course. Then I started training in Lanka Muay Thai. It was just a Muay Thai gym. And then I ended up up in the MMA gym. And there's a guy, Paul Murray, he used to coach back up in FI.
Well, no, Paul
He
Murray.
kind of like, he's saying that I was so like dedicated, and I was really picking up the Muay Thai and working really hard, and he was like, you should have a fight. Like, he's mad, like Paul's mental. He was like, really encouraged me into having a fight, and then ended up like my first fight was in the Ulster Hall, and like it was only like 3 or 4 years ago, and I had no idea what I was doing. I don't think I'd ever done like
I don't think anybody does.
I had literally no idea. I was like, thank God this is over in 2 minutes, because if this had went on any longer, I would have freaking had no idea what to do.
That's a weird little situation.
Yeah, it's like, it was the most mental thing in the warm-up room. I was like, what
When you were
am I
grown up,
doing here?
just before you go on into your career,
Yeah.
did you ever hear any lads that like deserved it or
No, I've never been in a fight.
You've
in my
never been in a
life.
fight outside?
Never. No.
Someone just competed for me the weekend, and
Yeah.
that's what he said. Like, see, isn't it just like a fight? Like when you were younger, he's like, I've never been in a fight in my life.
Yeah. That's the best way. My dad was always like, the best competition is no, or best way to defend yourself is not having to. Like,
100%.
he's like, the way you conduct yourself, you shouldn't be in any situation where you're going to be in a
situation.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that one. As I was saying to you downstairs, I spent loads of time in Belfast in Lannadown, at a place up there, and Andytown a swimming centre. I used to swim down there. I used to play football up at down by Dada Sal. Awesome
That's so
place.
cool, yeah.
I love Belfast. I
Belfast
really
is
do.
brilliant.
Even down, like, I bring people to Milltown Cemetery all the time and
Do
show
you?
them all the way around. So it's like the Paddy Howland tour up there
Yeah.
that they be giving them. And some people, they don't give a fuck, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I do. I'm like, isn't it not great? Isn't it
There's
not?
so much like culture
There's
and
so much.
history, and it's so
What's your favourite thing to eat in the chipper in Northern Ireland? I know this might mean that to you, but down here, do you know what? We can't even get gravy in the chipper.
what?
Oh no! See, it's a weird one.
I haven't had one in so long, and like,
Every time I cross the border, I swear, like, I have to.
really?
Yeah, like, I'd have to get a pasty or something. Because they don't do pasties down here either.
Really?
They don't do pasties, they don't do gravy.
There's good
They don't do
chip shops,
sausage
yeah.
supper. You know what I mean?
Sausage supper,
Sausage
yeah.
supper with peas.
That's
you know
my
what I mean?
favourite.
Oh, awesome, innit? Unreal.
So good.
My girlfriend as well, like, when she moved over from Liverpool, she's like, you don't do gravy. Like, no.
Yeah, Liverpool have good chippies too, don't they?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And they call them chippies instead of chippers. We call them chippers. They call them
Chippers.
chippy. On the chippy.
You do a good Belfast accent.
I got a good Belfast accent. I knock your bollocks and wheel that.
That's true.
It is crazy, little spot up there though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And growing up in Northern Ireland had to give you that tough backbone as well.
Yeah.
Because as I said, as a kid, I used to remember this. It never really affected me, to be honest, in a way of like where I was like, whoa, I seen that and now it's
Yeah.
crazy. I remember being more like kind of like, I'm done by you. I think maybe I'm, you know what I mean? Maybe if I was a little bit older, I would have been in the middle of it. But
Yeah.
I remember out in front of it, I feel like riots happening straight on the front
Yeah,
there.
and like bomb scares and
Crazy, yeah.
crazy
Like,
stuff.
that's actually I was saying to you why I was late here today. My auntie Margaret used to always say to me, and she was the one who lived with her in Northern Ireland, and she used to say to me, never turn up to somebody on time in case a bomb goes off.
No way.
And I used to be like, you're a psychopath, ain't you? Yeah, sure. Never turn up on time. So that's why I wasn't here on time today,
Okay.
mate, just in case, you know what I mean? So you start competing. There's your first one. You're standing in the corner. You're getting ready in the Ulster Hall. How many people have you got there? Because you've got a huge following up north. At that time, had you got friends and family?
Yeah, loads of
The day
friends.
ones?
Yeah, loads of like all my girlfriends were there, and my family, and I was like, what am I doing? Like,
I should be able
I
to
actually remember thinking in the warmer room, like, can I run out? Is there like an exit I can just go? Like, I was so nervous.
That's normal.
So nervous. I still am. Even for jiu-jitsu, I put so much pressure on myself. Like, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I went down, like my walkout. It was such an unreal experience walking out. And then I remember like winning was like the best feeling. I was just like,
Who did you compete against there?
Sarah Scott. She was training up in Rodney's gym at the time.
Okay.
She's moved back to.
So that was
England.
an Northern Ireland affair as well, was
No,
it?
she was in the army. She was up over competing, over training or working here, and then she was training up at Rodney's, and then I think she had like a jiu-jitsu or kickboxing background.
Yeah,
or something.
Rodney's awesome, isn't he?
He's like one of my favourite people.
Mine too as well.
Like he's done like my corner for 5 of my fights,
Oh,
like
has
in
he?
the Worlds and the Europeans, and I just love him. Like I would spar up there most Saturdays whenever I get a chance, and he's like on the mats doing 12 rounds, working harder than everybody, still at his age, like
yeah.
helping everybody, like just goes out of it. He's just a nice guy.
He always does this. I've always noticed that about him. And look, it was since way back. I remember even fighting on the same show as Rodney fought on
he's such a legend.
in the King's Hall. Rodney fought what's your man's name? The footlock guy. Dean Lister.
Oh yeah.
And we fought Damien Rooney. Same
Yeah,
night.
I was there, I think, as well.
Were you?
Watching that, yeah.
Mad little spot. But I remember just seeing Rodney and him just being this figure of like chiseled and like, coaching and staying. I was like, I can't wait to see him fight.
He's so cool.
You know what I mean? I know he is. And he was he's going on holidays and all the next day, I think, after that.
Such a legend.
Madman Rodney. Yeah, he's like, I had to go on holidays the next day.
I really can't say enough good things about him. He's such a good person.
You have a real kind of like globetrotter thing about you as well. Like, and that's what I love about you watching what you're doing. Like, oh, look at her, she's training today. And look at like the idea of training in between and mixing training and training with everybody.
Yeah.
I think we do live on a little island.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the minute people are going forward to compete, I think people, well, maybe not some of them. I won't say all of them. I was going to say everyone wants you to do well. That'd be a lie.
Well, 10%, doesn't it?
10%. Some people don't want you to do well, and the other ones that will be watching will not want you to do. But
No.
that's just normal. I
Oh
think,
my gosh, I know. Yeah.
It's just normal, and you just take that. You just gotta point your name.
My dad always says there's gonna be so many people don't want to see you, don't want you to do well, or jealous or whatever, and blah blah blah. He's like, just in every walk of life, no matter what you do, that's what people are like. So just do what you're doing.
Everyone's sound until you start taking steps above them.
Yeah.
And it's like, hold on. You
Yeah.
know? But everyone has to live their life, and everyone has to kind of go their own way. And I think that there is room for everybody in life. You know.
Everybody has one path.
But I see, so you do Rodney's. I know you get down to Roddy's. Roddy's another awesome dude, isn't he?
Oh, he's just the
How
best.
cool is Roddy?
He's like the coolest person.
I know he is the north side version of me, but I'm the south side version of me. But we're kind of like I won't say the same here, but he lives in the north side of Dublin, which is kind of like the Tala of the north side.
Yeah.
And I had Roddy on. If you get a chance to listen to his episode.
I think he did, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Talk about us as kids, man.
So cool.
Roddy was mad as a kid. He was. Cause, you know the towers out in Ballymun, do you?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
There was towers out in Ballymun, so there used to be like these 3 towers, kind of like Divis.
Yeah, oh
You know,
God.
that's exactly what it was like. So when you can match it. So Divis is a place in Northern Ireland that's like a tower block that's pretty crazy as well and wild. Roddy comes from that place. And
No
it's
way.
yeah, like these guys used to run from one apartment block with the windows knocked out and jump to the other block through the windows. That
That's
is
crazy.
like you've got talking 18 floors like falling between
Madness,
it.
yeah.
These kids are mad. There's a great thing actually if you want to have a little sus on Ballymun and you don't know, especially Robin, you're from Louth, so you'll have to watch this. Des Bishop has a great thing where he does like a comedy pack thing out there. So he goes out and takes people out of the neighbourhood and he puts them in and makes them comedians, and then he's doing a gig. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's got Joy in the Hood, I think it's called. Yeah, but he does it in Ballymun. And he has a load of guys, right? And he goes to meet them, and they're up in like an apartment up in this block, and they have like corn saws and all, and they're like, "Come on in, buddy, we'll show you our apartment." And he started cutting the apartment up and all. And Des Bishop said he's this like, American, well, he's Irish, but he, you know,
Yeah.
and he's shitting himself. He says, and then they're like, "Come back tomorrow, we show you loads more mad shit, Des." And he's like, "Oh my, get me out of here for one of these." But Ballymun's a mad little spot. But so you've been going out like the.
You see, yeah, I moved and I'm training like MMA under Owen now, down to Charlestown, like getting down like 3 or 4 times a week. Driving from Belfast like an hour and a half each way. Tough drive.
At least you're on the north side of Dublin because that actually is the most.
It's so
the
handy.
closest point, yeah.
It's like to 10 minutes past the airport.
And you don't have to hit the toll.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's not a real toll.
But see, to be
Don't worry about
fair, I went through it once and didn't pay it, and it went up to like £100. Do you have to pay it?
I'm on protest myself now.
Do you have to pay
We
it?
paid for that road a long, long time ago. Then they took the bleeding tolls off it, and now they say, "Do you know what? We're doing this for your own good. We're going to make it faster for you, but go to the shop and pay us." It's like
The most time consuming thing ever. Like,
Ireland
having
doesn't
to
even
go
own
and pay
that
for
toll.
it.
They don't own the toll. That's like a French company that own that toll.
What happens if you don't pay? It just goes up and up and up, doesn't it?
I'll let you know in a few years.
Are you not paying your
cellmates? No, I'm on protest. I am. No, we do pay it. We do pay it. What am I saying? I owe about €1 million. There was one guy that owed like I think it was like 72 grand or something like that, wasn't it?
Because it just keeps going up every 4 weeks.
They multiplied €3 into just putting X's into their calculator. That's what's happening.
My €3 went to €100. I was at €111 within like 4 weeks.
My mate owed them €1,500 and he rang them up and he said to them, "I'll give you €100. They're like, "No way. And he's like, "I'll give you €100. Alright.
Oh, really?
And they just took €100 off and they did.
Sake.
So Owen has the new place as well now, so that's only going to be another plus. So you're fighting MMA under Owen.
Yeah, yeah.
Deadly.
I did my jiu-jitsu still under Seb. I would train with Seb up in Newry. So I'm always like driving 10 million miles to train.
You do a lot of driving, a lot of traveling.
Yeah, but I think because I'm so new into MMA, like maybe 4 or 5 years I've been training, like you have to be so efficient with your time and your training sessions. Like every session I want to try and like improve as much as I can in that say hour and a half I have to train. Do you know, because you could train for friggin' 10 weeks and bust yourself, but you couldn't improve as much. Do you know what I mean? And those certain like being like efficient with your training, and I'm like that, like, obsessed with trying to improve as quickly as I can, as much as I can.
Development.
Yeah.
Like that as
and
well.
everybody's different. Everybody has to go down like not one trainer works for a certain person. People have different gel with different people better, and different training regimes work for them. And I think as MMA fighters, it's so different than boxers because they have like, oh, do your pads, do your sparring, do this. We're like, do 10 million martial arts and put it all together and be conditioned and recover. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to work.
And have a life.
Yeah.
And you have a little one, Isabel.
Isabella, yeah, she's 7.
Do you go mad and people call her Isabella or Isabella?
No, Isabella.
Yeah, but when people say, "Are you that mother?" That
Yeah.
you go, "How's it going, Isabel?" Her name's Isabella.
Yeah, it's Isabella.
Are you like that? Always happens, doesn't it? If you're naming a kid, that's what we would make sure that I do. Like, think about the situations where, because like, I get called Patrick, Paddy, Pad. Like, just call me my name. You know what I mean?
What do you like, Paddy?
I like Patrick, to be honest. Like, but I never get called. My mum calls me Patrick. I was actually only talking to somebody the other day about the phases of the Patrick. If you get called Patrick when you're a kid, you start off, your ma called you Patrick, then your mates call you Paddy, then you get to a certain age and you become Pat. Pat is a terrible situation to land in. You know what I mean?
It's like Pat Butcher of EastEnders.
Oh, don't say what I mean. There's no good Pats out there. Pat the Baker. There's no good out there. Like Pat is sitting on a bar stool somewhere, and that's it. There's no Pat out there constructively living life and exercising and having a great time. No, there's no Pat doing that.
Pat Mustard.
Pat Mustard, out Father Ted.
Yeah.
He's another fucker. You know what I mean?
He had it alright though, didn't he?
He was, yeah. Do you remember that Father Ted, no?
I don't watch Father Ted.
Ah,
I've never seen it.
It's amazing. It is amazing. No, I know I'm not going to get into it with you, but It's an amazing show.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very humorous. And Pat Mustard is the milkman. And the milkman...
Okay, I actually might watch it tonight.
Watch this one. It's great. Pat Mustard's the milkman. He goes around visiting all the women in the area. And at the end of it, I won't say, all the babies start coming out looking like Pat Mustard. But it's a great process. Pat Mustard's the man. I thought I'm going to take Pat. Fuck, I'm taking Pat now. I'm taking Pat now. So, after your first fight, so... You get the win, and you're saying to yourself, because I think that's the part for people. We were talking about that downstairs as well, that you can get put off by sparring. It has to be correct.
Yeah.
And I think, as I said, I think it was Paul Rimmer that I seen saying it, that teenage boys that he answers for female
fighters,
in a sport. Because female fighters in a sport, there has to, like, I won't say there has to be some sort of precautions taken, but there has to be comforts taken. You don't want some young fella coming at you trying to punch your head in. A young fella's feel, guys that feel testosterone as well. So, I won't say there's a disadvantage there, but if we were talking about PEDs or something like that, someone has testosterone in them and somebody doesn't.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
That's what I see the difference.
And yeah, I think that's why a lot of girls start off wanting to do MMA, but there's not like a clear training regime or schedule, and then they can get put off by sparring guys who, you know, go too hard, whether they do it on purpose or not, like, and put off girls. That's like loads of girls have said that to me. You know, it's hard for them to develop if there's not a focus on the girls, like somebody watching the spar and someone being like, hold on a second, like, lighten up. Do you know what I mean? Like, somebody needs to be looking over it.
This is what I feel about, and as I said, I was raised by my mum, my sister, and my training partner was probably a female for most of my career, so I'm probably fairly conditioned of what goes on, the idea between guys sparring each other, because obviously guys don't fight each other in a cage, so people don't know that there's a situation where guys and girls cross when they're sparring. If you're living in the States and something, you're kind of fortunate to have
loads of girls.
You
see, like Rose, like Namayuna, she was like, the big difference in her performances was getting the spar with Valentina, and her sister actually having girl sparring partners.
Do you know what I'm saying? And even bouncing back and off. Like, I know girls will talk with girls, like they talk with guys.
Yeah.
They're mates with guys, but with girls, they kind of, you can be a little bit emotional after a round if you must.
Like, I freaking cry after like every sparring session.
That's what I'm saying.
And like on the way home, like, it was terrible.
Where boys are like, are you alright yet? Will they just let you off here yet? Stop crying, please. You know what I mean?
I love it though.
And girls are like, come on, let's get it all together, let's get it. And we gotta fix this. And it's like, yeah. You know what I mean? Where boys are like, help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Panicking.
Girls are totally different. Because they're so emotional and they just think differently. Like, and like, I get so cross if I'm too bad at training or whatever.
I can imagine how frustrated. Like, say you're frustrated. Yeah. But the idea I find that what happens with girls and boys is when they're sparring is that this way I think, as I think when Paul saying that's a great idea, because then I start thinking about all of the girls that would have used teenage boys. I'm like, holy shit, that actually does make sense. The idea of a teenage boy, I think, it save a bloke, a man on a training team. I won't say anybody in particular, but you hit them hard.
Yeah, they just hit it.
They don't like that. Then all of a sudden that becomes like a situation, and then maybe I try to get my own back, and then you hit them, they hit you again. I know I think that's where it goes. But with teenage boys, they kind of love that, because the idea is like, you are that pinnacle. They're working towards you. They have respect for that situation, and I won't say different, but my experience, I think there's a little bit of a difference between that. And then you just get some guys that spar with girls that are dickheads, and then you get good that are really, really sound.
Yeah.
But that happens in male on male as well. You know what I mean? You get guys that are weird, but it's very hard to find good sparring, isn't it?
Yeah.
People will be saying like, "Can I spar? Can I spar?" And you're like, you kind of you have to like earn that over trust for them, especially for MMA, because if I'm gonna let someone like pull on my arms and my neck and my head, and I want to be able to trust that they're gonna make a decision that, hold on, his arm might break now, rather than relying on just me to do it. Because do you ever get when you're stuck out on an armbar, your armbar's out, and you get to move and play, and you know you're with someone that if it goes bad that you could have let go of it.
Yeah.
And that's hugely important, isn't it?
Yeah, massive.
How did you find out you were getting your when you start coming along and sparring? You don't have to mention the name, but you can tell us the story. The first time you kind of gave it to one of the lads.
Flip me, probably the first time I sparred.
Yes, that's it. And
God.
They were like over it. But I find that does happen as well sometimes.
And then you kind of calm down a wee bit. I think it's MMA so different as well, because it was kind of like just, when at the start it was kind of like just like a room of us just sparring. There was nobody really watching. It was just kind of, you just went in and had a bit of a scrap, and there was no like, you know, like looking back, what did you do right? Like it was just, you just went up, you sparred, and that was it. Like there was no, and then
there's no career in your mind, really.
yeah, well, yeah, and just
had
like,
you always got a career in your mind? But it's posting the horse riding, you know how it goes.
yeah, I don't know, like I just kind of fell into this path, and then like, do you know what I mean, like just got more and more involved in it. I don't know, but at the start, like whereas like, and then I was sparring bigger guys, and then like my sparring came a wee bit negative. It was kind of like I was going and just trying to defend myself in the rounds,
Yeah.
and then that, like I'm trying to get out of that bad habit of like, no, just do your own thing, go forward,
Think about you.
yeah.
Push
But
your game from. That's important. That's hugely important. What's like some of the negative stuff? Like obviously, oh, do you know what it was as well? Sorry, I was in the Skinny Kitchen the other day.
were you?
Oh, he was.
You should have told me.
Because
Sponsor me.
I know, that's what I seen it on Yo-Yo. Yeah, and I found it because of you as well.
Yeah.
So Skinny Kitchen.
There you go, Skinny Kitchen.
Make sure you're getting it out. You're getting your worth back.
They're the
if
best
you must.
guys.
We were
Guys
doing
are-
a course up there in the child protection thing.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and that's a
Yeah.
whole new podcast in itself. Let me tell you about that. Jesus. We were doing a child protection course in Northern Ireland the other day. So we got all the coaches on.
Oh, was the IMAF guys? No.
Yeah, it was with Danny.
Yeah,
Danny in
yeah.
the training centre thing.
Oh, yeah.
Across the way. Yeah, so you know where it is, so it's close.
Yeah.
I know what it is. Like, sitting on the jack saying, oh, they're in the field. So that's Skinny Kitchen. So I was looking to
Leah's always posting about
it was
that.
only 500 metres away.
Oh, no way.
What's the chances of that?
That's so weird.
I'm looking for a place in Belfast and it's 500 metres away from me. Deadly.
class.
So fair play to the Skinny Kitchen looking after you as well.
Yeah,
'cause
they're
they,
so good.
They do so good, but you know they.
Yeah, they like provide me my meals. Like just anytime I can go in and grab food, like it's so handy because I'm always on the road. So driving past, I'm always
Especially,
getting.
and where it is as well, which is,
Yeah,
is a handy one.
so central, so nice.
Have you ever got any bad injuries?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I've had like 2 surgeries. I've had, before I did like the Rome, I did the Euros when I was a blue belt. One of my training partners jumped on my back and I smashed my knee off the ground and like loads of cartilage broke off and I was like, it was like coming in between my knee and my knee was locking out.
That's the worst one that an impact could have bang on
Yeah,
it.
so I had to get chondroplasty and microfracture surgery in my knee. It was like no,
She's done well with that.
I went and fought at the Europeans and did like, I was just got this age. I was like, I need to get this fixed because my knee was just like in the car locking out, and I was going like squealing like a pig. It was just so sore. So I went and got that done. I got my knee surgery like in February, and then went and fought in the Worlds in July in Las Vegas. Like I was like, I have to fight, and I have to fight, and I just want to go. And I had like my training schedule. The surgeon was like, "There's no way you're gonna be able to fight. I was not weight bearing for 12 weeks, so I couldn't even like put the knee in the ground because I had to all heal inside. And then I was able to come through that and go and fight in the Worlds in Vegas, MMA, and then I did the Worlds in San Francisco in November. And then my first match was against the girl I had my first MMA fight against, and I was like. In the World
weird.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Championships.
Okay.
And so we were in San Francisco. My first match, I was in closed guard and I went to do a Kimura and her body weight came down and my thumb like came off and was like, just like, yeah.
Ow.
So like, I was like, oh, I've just saved my thumb. Won my first match. I had like 3 matches to win to go to gold, and like I just taped it up. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. So went on, like won the Worlds, and then came back and the surgeon was, I went to see my, like I couldn't do grip, couldn't do anything, but still in agony. And the surgeon looked at my hand and he did that, and it just kept coming around. He was like, that's completely tore off that part of your hand. So I got
a hinge joint, is it?
I don't know.
I think that's what it's called.
Whatever it is
wedge
there,
joint or something.
it just came off, so I had to get hand surgery then. So I had knee surgery, the 2 World Championships, then I had to get hand surgery, like last February, and then had my like first pro fight in like June. It was like, I'm always like, go, instead of taking a break. But
I like that. But that's admired. Like, and you've got a kid in between, you've got your job in between.
Yeah.
You've got sponsors, and you obviously have got a good team about you with like the team that have guys to chat about you, because you need that.
Yeah, you need good people, and
definitely, especially in this game, you
God.
need real good people.
Yeah.
Because
that are gonna
if you have
support
so many people around you, it's kind of hard to find out who the real good ones are. You know what I mean? You can shake them down into 5 or 6 really, really good people. I think that you'll be successful with it. And then you had your pro one, so you turned professional.
Yeah, I turned professional. Lost my first pro fight in June, like
Look at the road you've been through.
I know.
It's like the idea of everything you've done, especially going to the Worlds and the Europeans. And I find that like kind of looking back a little bit, I feel like an old bastard now. We don't tell me. Well, back in the day. No, but like I feel that people run so fast because I know when I got to the UFC, I ran too fast.
Yeah.
I should slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that now. Like I've had like a good after my fight in June. I've like really like kind of looked at my schedule, looked at my training, like restructured everything, like completely redirected myself down a different path of different, obviously training somewhere different, and I'm so much happier. Like fell in love with training again. Like I love training, love MMA, and it was like it's because I was like stressed, like have to do this, have to do that, like it's because I feel like I need to do everything in the friggin' 1 week. And
that's
then,
not just. I think that's. I won't say all girls because I'll get bleeding slightly to death, but most girls. I know my own girl. Like,
yeah.
My girlfriend can't sleep if there's like a pair of socks not washed.
Yeah, like
mental, like she's obsessive OCD about stuff like that. You like that about training, about
completely about. Like I try to put your head out like at night time. I'm like, oh my god, I need to do this, like training. But now I'm just like calm down a wee bit, and it's like, no, you need to like give yourself time to grow as well, and like in the MMA, because if you're constantly fighting, you're constantly in a fight camp rather than learning, and that's the part, like getting your fight IQ up. I've been like doing like working loads on my striking and feeling like a tiny bit better.
and that is it. I think a huge part about is the want.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you have a bar. So say like Street Fighter nearly.
Yeah.
You have a bar and it's want. So it's like if you use it all up and you go to if you train too much, if you do too much, if you fight too much, you kind of want for it goes. And then all of a sudden you're looking across at somebody in the corner where you're their opportunity to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
And their want bar is full to the brim.
Yeah.
It's bulging.
Such a good way to put it.
Do you get what I'm saying? And they're like, they mightn't have the skills, but they have the attitude.
Yeah.
And if you get caught a little bit deflated where your want is down a little bit, just because you ran yourself so hard or you've just been doing it so much that you really need a break. And see people I need a break and they take 2 days. I think sometimes a break can be like a month, 2 months, 3 months. Now I don't mean sitting on the couch. I mean just away from the gym, away from them. I remember John saying to me.
Head. And the only way you can actually relax and take a break is whenever you go through something like that and you think, I need to like.
When you're injured.
Yeah, or whenever like say like I lost my last fight and I was like I need to like calm down and like just go and chill out, like enjoy myself instead of being stressed by training and fighting all the time. Yeah,
I as well as I say to the guys coming up. So a lot of the guys that have now would be amateur, and I want to kind of like get them all as one wave where they're going through the layers together at the same time because it's a lot easier to do it as a team together, you know.
Yeah.
And I know that myself because I've stood there on my own and it's been like this feels weird, and then I've stood there with a team and it's been like let's fucking get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's great, and I've got to be in both of the situations a few times.
Yeah.
I've got to see other people in the situation, so good experience for it. And I think the idea of going up through the levels like that, I say to the guys amateur, like you need to not care whether you win or lose.
Oh, it's so true.
You can't win like if you don't care, you're actually going to get so much better.
Yeah.
And then it's like doing a drawing in pencil or drawing say the plans for a building in pencil. When it's ready to go, professional is pen.
Yeah.
Pen is there forever. The wins, the losses, they're all going to be there. And you're going to look back at them when you're older and they'll be there no matter what. It's a permanent situation now. And it's like, when someone says it like that, it's like shit. So I think in the professional game, it's very, very clever to be able to, like, you've got a certain amount of arrows.
Yeah.
And you have to take your time in them now. Where in amateur, you can kind of
just
shoot jabs and just have a go at it. You know what I mean? And whenever that, like, now we're serious.
Yeah.
Now it has to be. I had to hit the mark every single time.
Yeah.
I had to hit the mark 10 times in a row. I've got to hit.
Yeah, there's so much more, like coming from the.
I think if you can kind of get to that big show, then it only matters of swells of it. So say you get 3 fights in a row. It's like this person's on a 3 fights win. It doesn't even matter what happened in the past. Really, then. And like I was looking at like Joe Loza on the weekend and. Like, it was only when his record came with the screen, I was like, holy shit, like he's like 15 losses or something like that.
Yeah, it's insane.
But you never think of it. You never would think of it.
Especially in MMA, people think, like, it's not like boxing where you can, like, pad your record for 10 fights and be 10-0, and, like, in MMA you have to fight, like, especially in female, you have to fight whoever you can get. Like, it's so hard to get matches and fights.
Definitely, and I do feel bad for boxers in a way that, the fall for them is a lot harder than MMA fighters, where in boxing, if you're 20-3, like if you're on a list of top boxers in the world now are upcoming prospects. You'll see 20-0, 21-0,
Oh,
22.
no, yeah.
The minute you see a 3, someone will just skip by it.
Yeah.
Any loss, and I do feel terrible because it is a big build-up. There's not a job for everyone at the end of it.
Yeah, whereas MMA, you've got more of a chance to redeem yourself.
Come back, there's always a comeback in MMA. There's the idea of like you bouncing back, and this person's on a person that would be doing it in Irish MMA would be Paul Redmond. He's on it. He's
really well.
out of the big show, to getting back in, putting the head down, going, and people are still interested. And
Yeah.
people love a good comeback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's but like, are you gonna? When's your next one gonna schedule?
Well-
And listen, don't be.
No,
the idea, are
I
you
was
going to take a
meant-
little break? Are you going to,
No,
what's the plan?
like my last fight was in June. I really hurt my shoulder, and my last fight I had like nerve damage down my arm.
That's horrible, isn't it?
Oh, so bad, like in my shoulder, like so.
It's also it's manky, uncomfortable,
Yeah,
isn't it?
no matter what you do, like it's just pain in my shoulder. But anyway, yeah, that was fine. I was meant to fight in February in the Liverpool card, in Cage Warriors, but like there was no opponent until like 3 weeks before. Like they sent me 3 opponents. We were trying to get one sorted. Then I split my eye open like 2 weeks before. I was like, what are the chances? Like, I was
You're like a bucket of Lego.
on top of somebody punching, and the guy went to defend him. Like, he just kind of did that, and like the elbow came up, sliced my eye, and I just felt blood. Well, I actually didn't know what happened. I just felt a real knock, and Owen was like, "Oh no, your eye's bleeding," because I just felt the blood like
Was it
down my
in
face. Yeah. So then I had to go get like 5 stitches in my eye and couldn't like spar for like 3 or 4 weeks or whatever in case it opened again. So that was February, so took me through to March. Then I went and
Good job on it, whoever did it.
Yeah, they did so good.
It's perfect.
I thought the one was like Edward Scissorhands doing it. She was like doing it and talking to somebody, and like I was like, "Can you just do this right, please?"
One of the boys the weekend had like a weird situation, and his nose got broke.
Oh,
right?
flip.
And when he came out, his nose was like this, and I swear on the steps, so he done a better plastic surgeon job.
No
than
way.
anybody. And his nose is better.
Sparring before my first ever MMA fight, I broke my nose, and it's still broke now, but it was like an agony. Like it was like it's still like out of place.
But it looks alright. Like your septum's alright. My septum goes like, if you look at my septum like that.
Oh my gosh.
No, so you know my nose is broke, and that was Connor that broke that 2 consecutive left
No
hands.
way.
Yeah, so it's grand like this, but everyone says they're like, "Oh my god, your nose is broken." Like, shut up, leave it out, man.
Yeah.
Your septum's like that.
So when I went in to get my eye stitched, the mum was like, "Your nose is broke too." I was like, "You know that happened ages ago." Yeah, I know that.
So is yours, bitch.
So that like was out of the Liverpool card. Then I was meant to be fighting in Sweden, but still haven't heard about any opponents yet. It's in 3 weeks, so I don't know.
And you signed for Cage Warriors, or are you?
No, not signed with them.
Free agent.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think as well. That's my voice of where it does. Just from seeing a few things, signing a contract, I think below something that's gonna pay your wage for a year is not really good. You know what I mean? It's not a good idea because.
Yeah, maybe the guys may be better for, but I think girls, you should be better being free.
Guys do benefit from it, because I
Yeah.
know for a fact that when some of the boys signed for, especially Cage Warriors back in the day, they were kind of stuck with the
Stuck
idea.
in
Like, as a
there.
fighter, you need to fight because you need biscuits. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You need to get money. You need to
Yeah.
get bread. That's it.
And it is hard for me getting an opponent. Like there isn't a lot of girls fighting at the minute.
No.
You know, bantam. My next fight's gonna be bantamweight, and it is hard getting.
You're gonna
an
make
opponent.
61?
Yeah, well, we'll try to.
What do you start at? You don't want me asking you.
Like 72, 73.
To make 61.
Yeah.
It's a fucking climb.
Yeah.
I used to start at
There's
67 and make 57. But like that 10k, but that's a killer, man.
Yeah.
Killer. My advice with you as well is if you're not gonna like the idea in your head of being at 61
there's no girls, there's literally
know, at
nobody
60.
at 145. Like that's the only reason why I'd be going. Do you know what I mean? To try and get fights. There's way more people fighting the
Do you hear
bantamweight.
that, Liv? I have a girl here. She's actually competing at your Open. Is it?
Oh,
Because you
did
ran the
she?
Open, yeah?
Yeah.
So she's a blue belt now. She's
Well, oh yeah, I was chatting to her. I think.
she's the same. And I said, like, she's an accountant. She has kids. She runs that kids training.
Love it, yeah.
You know, I love that. I love that
Yeah.
idea, because some people, you can't just quit your job and become a fighter. It's
Yeah.
like, so you functioning
Yeah.
while you're doing it. And she's the first blue belt out here. She's very good at jiu-jitsu. Always compete. She won NAGA in Birmingham there, just
Wow.
gone. She won the expert division. She got silver in the gi division. She just competes all
Love
the
it.
time, and she's kind of lost the idea of like thing. But 66 is the weight that MMA. She says she'd love to do an MMA fight.
Yeah.
Now, I'd love it. She wants to do one. I'd love to get someone at 66, that same kind of level, but
Yeah.
trying to
Would
find
she not
someone.
do the IMAFs?
We've looked at that as well, the IMAF, but that's I don't think she wants to commit in the idea of making
I
it as
know.
like, do you get what I mean? Like making it as
Yeah.
a career. She's very good at jiu-jitsu, and I think that she has a career in jiu-jitsu and doing that. And,
Yeah.
but to have an MMA fight would be great, but I don't think she's going to like, right, I want to do the IMAF, then I want to go
Yeah.
professional, then I want to go on the way through. But it's
There
so
needs
hard
be
to
new
find at
girls
66.
fighting, yeah, more girls fighting.
We were trying to find someone at 70, and I was like, you're not going to find someone at 70. It's just so hard.
Yeah.
Maybe in America somewhere, you know what I mean? But
I know.
it's hard to get the experience.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
the
thing
same
over
as me
here.
as amateur. Like I'd find it so hard getting fights, and then that's why I did the Europeans, because there was going to be girls, and I did the worlds just because there was going to be fights. There was
And what
nowhere.
about the divisions? Can you not look at the girls in them divisions and try to get
That's what we did. We did that,
Did you?
and then none of them seemed to be interested in going pro, like even for professional. And then we tried to sort out fights between them in between it, but then they weren't really interested. But that is an idea to look at the
That's
the
what
ranks.
that's what I have been doing, and
Yeah.
kind of because I think as well, matching fighters together in Ireland. It's crazy. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you've got guys that great fights, and then sometimes you've got one guy that's definitely gonna win, and one
Yeah.
he's only there as a sacrificial lamb. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But the idea of that, I think, we're matching off the lists.
Oh,
It's a
in
great
IMAFs,
idea.
yeah.
Like,
That's good.
and especially the more people that come through the IMAFs and the more people that do the Europeans and stuff, the more layers of people we're gonna have that are at the same levels
Yeah.
coming up, and that's important because you need to fight your way to your top of your pool,
Yeah.
and then get to the other pool, and then fight your way to the top of that pool.
Yeah.
That's important rather than like one fight is hard and the next fight is easy.
Yeah.
Then the next three are hard and then the next one's easy. It's so patchy. Where to me it has to be kind of like
Gradual
a slope
progression.
that's going like when you're playing a computer game or something when you're small, like you're going up the ranks, you're going up through the levels of, and the opponents are getting harder.
Yeah.
Robin, I'm going down. So Robin does a little break. He can give us a hand with this. So
Okay.
He put some funky news in and
Yeah.
he can give us your 10 cents on it.
That was great. Thank you, Patrick.
Did you enjoy? You like that? You like that? I had to say when you weren't in the last podcast and all that you bailed on us.
I know.
People are gonna think Shane is sacked. So there's another guy
Yeah.
Shane helps us out with it. Shane owns the Limor app.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the Limor app is it's like the podcasting online. You download it. It's an app. You can make all your own podcasts. You can do your stuff on it, whatever you want to do it. But he owns that. But we said one of the weeks like, yeah, we sacked Shane. We said nothing, and people like, did you really sack Shane? But he hasn't been here since. So people are gonna start thinking, yeah,
Yeah, he's off living the high life in
yeah,
London.
he's in London.
Yeah.
London.
Chasing them men. No, wait. Chasing them. No, that sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Is that men or podcasting?
Men on podcast. Oh,
It's
men on podcast, and he's just there with his head on both of them.
It's one or the other.
He's out chasing them men
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
pushing that Limor app.
That's actually a lovely mug you have there on the
Liverpool
table.
socks. Look, just like your dad's from Liverpool.
I love it.
Right then.
It's a nice mug there, Paddy.
Oh, the mug, yeah, the mug.
Yeah.
This is another version of the mug. If you've seen it, we've got the white mug.
They're so nice.
We've got the black mug. They're all right. They're good for a cup of tea.
Coming soon.
But they're going to be coming soon. So on the swipe up link to the actual website where all of the podcasts are, and another I forgot because I'm going to forget to say this and I would have went home and the hooligan T-shirt. I probably got about 100 messages last week about that hooligan T-shirt that I had
So
on.
nice.
Yeah, I don't have that in stock anymore, but I'm going to get that made again and we're going to start revving that hooligan T-shirt back up. The cups and the hooligan T-shirt will be on the same shop spot, and I mean give a few of them away as well because we're not scabby like that, you know.
Yeah. Leah, is your dad? Is he? Lee?
Lee or Leah?
Leah.
Sorry.
Oh.
Leah, people
Isn't
call
that
me Lee.
L-E-A-H? This is the Isabella thing, isn't it?
No, it's Leah.
Leah or
Leah.
Where's the A? Isn't that L-E-A-H?
L-E-A-H, yeah. Leah. I don't know.
See,
Leah.
this is hard. These words confuse me. I heard a lot of Americans the other day. One of them going when I was in Italy, and they were like, I was told I was in Sisi last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sisi's awesome. Oh, go there. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you're religious and you're in that kind
Yeah.
of thing. You would love it. You really would. It's like
Yeah.
it's.
I have to read about it. I haven't heard about it before. I have to
St.
look
Francis
into
of
it.
Assisi. You never heard that, no?
No. I do you know what? I think I maybe have heard
This
of
man
it
was a rock
ages
star.
ago.
He's a rock star, I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
To me, well, like I said, I'm not religious at all, but this guy,
Just a really good
he
guy.
inspire you. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
he's one of these gave away everything he ever owned it. Not only that, convinced all his mates to do it as well. All his mates gave away, he sold all the houses and
I love
all,
that.
and went and lived
Love
with the
it,
poor,
yeah.
and they were like hippies in the 1200s. You know what I mean? Rocking around, living in barns. Opiates, fires, everything. I'd say it
So
was
cool.
all going down.
I like the Instagram stun hun comparison. That was good.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
He had 5,000 followers, man. Back in the day, St. Francis did. When he died, he had 5,000 followers for... so he could have created a thing called an order. So he went to the Pope and got a signed and all. So he created his own religious order. And it was signed off. And this is mad. Listen to this, right? I know more about religion than some people are. But when he went to get a sign, the Pope told him, "Get out of here, you peasant." Right? This is what he said to him. And then the Pope had a dream of the same guy, a peasant, holding a church over his head. The Pope, and he woke up and he sent his servants, the Pope's servants, guys that he makes do things for him for money, run and get him, alright, run and get St. Francis and bring him back. And said, "No, I'm not having a dream. It's weird that a peasant was holding the church over his head," and he signed the order. So he had 5,000 mates or something like that when he died.
Crazy.
So like followers, people following his religion, if you must, and. Yeah, that's right. He's like he was an Instagram famous back in the day, man. 5,000 followers. He was up there.
You could just picture him doing the Conor McGregor strut.
That's what he said to me. He texted me that last night.
Oh, it was with Jesus, wasn't it?
I could picture Jesus doing the Conor McGregor strut. Please don't say these things. You're gonna get me bashed for it. Nobody else.
Yeah.
People are violent, man. People are violent. Be careful.
Great job by Dino as well.
Dino,
super sub.
Dino. So one of my mates done the podcast with me last week. Because coming back from Italy and all, it was just crazy, and I had all that stuff on my head, and I needed to get it out. Because for the whole week in the CC, I was with a lot of like guys that would be religious, and then guys that would be like religious extremists, nearly, if you must. You know what I mean? You can't say that. Yes, I can. You know what I mean? It's freedom of speech. Same way you can say that, I can say this. And it was a bit crazy. But Dino jumped in because Dino was great to bounce some stuff off. And you want to see the discussions me and him have had? Me and him started jiu-jitsu exact same day.
How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
13 or 14 years or something. A few years been hanging around for a while. Right. We ended up finding, I was calling it Toikido when I found it. I didn't know what it was, Lee. I just knew. Yeah, I was calling it Toikido. I didn't even know what it was. I just knew it worked and it was savage. That was it. For weeks, people were like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, this Toikido jiu-jitsu thing, it's mad it is. It's like headlocks with strategies." You know what I mean? And me and Dean started because his dad started.
Yeah.
And like
I love it the way the mums, everybody does, like anybody can do it.
This place is like
in my women's MMA class, I have like nurses coming off night shifts to do MMA, like solicitors, people that own lawyer firms, like teachers, people from all walks of life, like all women. Like you would never in a million years think. Like one of them's a children's nurse, and she came into my first ever like course, and she was like the biggest UFC fan. I'd been like to see John Jones in Vegas. Like she was a nurse. She would never have thought that she loved like MMA. It's amazing to see and people love it.
There's something about it like that is so real, and the thing is now
so exciting. It is so real.
Now people can put their hands on it in a way of like training. That's the same way here. Most of the people I have here, and that's what outside on the sign I have family martial arts centre, because the idea is that you want to have someone's kid to their next kid, to them, to their husband, where they all understand that, and not only that, it gives a whole family an interest of something to actually bleed talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hard these days. Like sometimes when with my young fella, I'm like, like my young fella doesn't do jiu-jitsu anymore. He did the football.
Neither Isabella.
So he's talking about, isn't it hard? Isn't
it's no interest in doing judo. She loves me doing it. She's like, nope, not going to be a fighter. Like she's like an animal whisperer, dog lover. Like, and that was what I was like when I was a kid. Like she's two dogs and just is obsessed with them, and just like, but she doesn't want to do judo or jiu-jitsu or like, I don't want her to push her. I don't want her to do it. She doesn't want to do it, but I'd love her to do it. But like to try and get her interested in something. So hard.
Look, as I was saying, having a conversation with my young fella, I'm like, what's going on? Like, you don't know what to be even talking about, you know? But like, as I said, with some of the family here, that girl that I was on about, like her daughter trains, and now they're starting to, they've got a great little relationship because of that. And it's a great thing. It's crazy because people think, like, people who go to me, "So you teach kids cage fighting, is it?" No, I don't, mate. You know, the cage fighting, isn't it? There was actually someone away with me on the weekend that a grandcourt trains me, and she's like, "He teaches my kid cage fighting." I'm like, "Keep it down." No, I don't. That's terrible. I don't. I teach a kid jiu-jitsu. I teach a kid wrestling, martial arts, respect, discipline, all of this stuff. Not cage fighting. You know what I mean? Crazy it is.
Yeah. Is your dad Leah? Is he red or blue?
What's that? Like Liverpool or no?
Liverpool or Everton.
He sports Tranmere Rovers.
Oh, even better.
What?
That's a hipster.
Yeah, he's like, but he's from Ellesmere Port, which is like.
Okay.
People say he's not really a Scouser.
So he's down by
Birkenhead.
Yeah, Birkenhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Chelsea's Runcorn, which is across the way, which is not really Liverpool either. Like, I was with her for a few months, and I was like, she's like, I'm not really from Liverpool. What do you mean you're not really from Liverpool? We're going to revoke your licence there now, because it was a Liverpoolian that I wrote down, it wasn't anything else.
So, obviously, Liverpool had a good win in the football last night, through to the
so I heard,
semi-finals.
yeah.
But also...
Some said Barcelona are out and Liverpool are going to win it. What the fuck is going on?
I know, because this is the thing. Roma got through last night against Barcelona. It was like one of the great...
Mads.
Yeah.
Roma,
yeah. Rome. Not too far from you where you were last week.
The boys own the stuff, and then know the Romans own it all.
I know.
But it was one of the great comebacks in football. And I just have a clip here I'm going to play. It's from the Italian commentator when they get the third goal, because
It's got to be brilliant.
in case you don't know,
That's not joking.
they lost. You okay?
Yeah.
So they lost. They lost the first leg 4-1. So they had to win the second leg 3-0 to go through.
And they did win 3-0, didn't they?
Yeah, they scored late on, and this is the commentator when
Unreal.
the third goal goes in. The Italian guy.
A battere. Parte Under, ecco il cross.
No way. Love it. That's unreal. They had to get 3 goals.
They had to
Yeah,
win 3
they
there.
had 3.
Because they got beat 4-1. Like, you're going into that leg now.
The Italians are so emotional. I love it. They're so passionate.
I love that.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the
Love
Irish
it,
in that
yeah.
way as well as like they're
So passionate.
mad for it. Mad for it, as they say.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're like the Irish.
I was thinking,
slightly.
I was guessing that when you said Italian, I thought I was going to be like, goal! You know?
Yeah, they went nuts. Yeah. So yeah, Liverpool are true. You're you're fond.
Liverpool
You're
man,
fond of Liverpool.
I like football. It's alright. I watch it every now and again. I'd much rather fighting, because football
never
is
watched
millionaires
football.
chasing the ball
Yeah.
around. It's a bit mental.
So I met one of the charities I do work for, Active Community Network in Belfast. We did like a thing last year, and Rio Ferdinand and Tommy Bow, we did like went about West Belfast for like a day.
I actually
and did,
seen
like,
it on the Instagram, yeah.
like a question answer that night, but Rio was telling us like how advanced like their training is, and like it's just like a whole other level compared to like we're just like going in trying to make it. He was like, everything is just done for them. They have like GPS on every single training session. Even Tommy, like the rugby guys, if GPS, if they're not pushing hard for like a certain amount of time, they get took off straight away. They like everything's monitored by computers, not by really coaches anymore. It's all like computerized, and that's how they like monitor even their performance on the pitch. Like to bring them
they're
off.
getting paid, Lee. I'd be sticking GPSs on the motherfuckers too, and I'd be like, see, when you're even off, I want you running. That's what I'd be saying.
No, but it is on their off seasons. That tracks what they eat as well. Whatever they have to meant to keep this on all the time.
That's mental, isn't it? And
like guinea pigs.
He's a cool dude, him.
Oh, he's just the best.
Rio Ferdinand, didn't he?
Really.
He's been through some serious stuff.
Yeah.
His wife and all died of cancer. And
Yeah, that's right. And his mum died recently.
And his mum died,
He
yeah.
set up the Rio Ferdinand Foundation that does a lot of work with getting kids into employment through sport. It's the same as the Active Community Charity would do, and it's just like it's amazing to see.
Well, you do loads of great stuff. Watching you up in Northern Ireland and doing what you're doing with a lot of charities and stuff like that as well, which is incredible. Do you do any of the stuff with like the cross community communications?
Yeah, so Active Communities, they would do they would try and get young people into employment through sport, but they would work in like West Belfast, East Belfast, and bring them together and do like community stuff like that, like run programs in different sports and try and bring people together. But they have like such a great turnaround rate to get people, young people into employment, and they do like placements and things to get them experience, because it's hard getting young people getting jobs. And then I'm an ambassador for them and ambassador for Glow. It's actually they're both just off the Falls Road. Charity Glow and I is a women's charity, and they run programs that women have been through trauma or really bad experiences to build back up their confidence and self-esteem and bring them together. Like there's like a drop-in centre, just they can come in if they've been through something bad, and like they're such a phenomenal charity.
There's a lot of that stuff. Like I did an educate. I qualified my coaching courses in an educate together in Belfast.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It's called Springboard.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's done now. And anyway, but that was the same idea. It was like 8 Catholics, 8 Protestants, 8 Southern
Yeah,
people.
that's what they do.
they all
Yeah,
got put
in
together.
active communities, that's what they have, like 8 Catholics, 8 Protestants, 8 like in the Roma community, like, and bring them together and try and get them to integrate and work, and they do like such amazing stuff.
It's a crazy job. It is because,
Yeah.
like, I know from living on both sides of the border that it's been so crazy. Like, I remember across the road, it's like you couldn't go there.
Yeah.
Especially me because of the southern accent, and I'm like
Yeah.
walking around crazy. You know what I mean? Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
But like when I got to do that course, I was never kind of like I never hated anybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But when I done that course, I found out that there was actually Muppets on both sides.
Oh,
a lot of the
completely,
guys that I
yeah.
got on with would have been from, like, there was guys from Shankill, there was guys that, and I got on really well with some of them, and I still got on with them. There's one of the guys, Daniel, he was bang on, really into his clothes and into stuff like that. And then there was guys from, like they say, the Catholic world that were just these little
Yeah,
bitter gremlins, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's a lot about like
drinking
what
hot,
you're
you know
surrounded
what I
by.
mean?
You know, if you're conditioned in that environment to be narrow minded, then you're gonna be.
You just
know
follow
what
it,
you're-
isn't it?
Yeah, you have to have like your own mind and look at things like people were, but everybody had, you know, issues on both sides. You can't just.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially nowadays, just like forget about like. Do you know
Yesterday
what
was 20 years of the Good Friday
Yeah.
Agreement. That is incredible. Like
It's
20
insane.
years since that agreement was put in place, and I was watching a thing on Tony Blair saying it last night, and like the guys that they were saying, like, they're taking responsibility for putting it together now, and now they're
Yeah.
not even in government anymore. Like, well, that's not hard. That was a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
massive,
Bill Clinton
massive.
was involved in that. Bertie Ahern, even though he robbed their country dry. That's a, and who was it on last night? Actually, you know John Giles. Do you know John Giles?
No.
He does the football commentating. Some people didn't know him, like, and they were going on about Bertie Ahern. Bertie Ahern had loads of like rogue accounts that he never declared, and,
Oh,
and he
really?
was getting money into them, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
his mates that were builders were building all these apartment blocks, and it was like, hey, why did he give you money, and now he has
Yeah.
permission to do that? And John Giles is like, sure, everybody does that. Everybody has it. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? He's like, everybody has a situation where they've got an account. That's an Irish thing, that is. You know what I mean? It's like, we're talking about Taoiseach, mate. You know what I mean? You can't be on bogey accounts and saying, shit, everyone has one or two. You can't be doing that. You know what I mean? Doesn't work out.
Yeah, I was just about to mention the Good Friday Agreement. I had
Oh,
that
yeah.
down on my list as well, yeah.
It's good that we
Crazy.
were ahead of the Good Friday
Yeah.
Agreement.
There you go, yeah. We'll just do one more, will we?
Yeah, bang one more. Yeah, I've class at 12. And
Yeah,
what comes
yeah.
now?
So we'll just do one more.
Wednesday Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Oh, people are going to know what day we recorded on now. They're going to swarm the studio now. No, we're gonna miss it.
Just a story here of how a typo helped to end World War II.
These things do. Some of the podcasts would be an hour long on these questions here.
Yeah.
Let me hear this.
So this guy during World War II, the year was 1939, Jeffrey Tandy, a Brit who at the time was working for NHM London, he signed up to volunteer for Royal Navy Services. He had on his CV that he was a cryptogrammist, which is like, I don't know, I think they...
Decipher.
Do the cipher stuff.
Yeah. Sort of like, right, this guy's gonna be able to crack the code for us or whatever. Like, give him the job, like, and so he signed him up anyway, and they put him in front of all the machines and all that, and he's like, what the hell is going on here? He's like, you're a cryptogrammist.
And he put it on
he's
the
like,
thing,
I'm
so-
not a cryptogrammist, I'm a crypto gamist.
A crypto gamist.
Gamist. Oh.
Right, that's what
I
it
don't
is.
even know what either of them are. Cryptogrammist.
You definitely
But
should have
but supposedly because he was in that situation, like he was able to figure it out or something. Like, but they're saying if it wasn't for that typo, he would have never got the job.
And he ever figured it out.
Yeah, and we might know.
Is that something to do with kind of like what Stephen Hawkins was? Stephen Hawkins.
was that movie?
No.
Did you ever see the film of his life?
Yeah,
Brilliant. If you ever haven't
Oh,
seen
no,
that, watch
the
that.
theory
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah, the theory of everything.
Kind of sad.
Yeah, very sad. Yeah, because it starts off with like where he's like a fully healthy guy,
Oh, really?
and he proceeds like he wasn't born like that. He
Yeah.
wasn't. All of a sudden, like he
Sad.
caught a disease, and that's what happened. But at the start of it, in the war, what he's doing is he's ciphering the intercalls between the
Oh,
Germans.
really?
And he figures
That's so
out
interesting.
how to listen into what they're saying. And he figured it all out, like, through this big, huge technical machine. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah,
It's
that
really,
sounds
really
Yeah.
cool.
So when he was in that situation, he's like, I can't. They're like, well, you're gonna have to figure it out now because this is top secret, and we can't let you leave because you've seen the machine. Like,
Oh, shit.
yeah. So he figured it out anyway. It was to crack the codes for the. I think it was there was a movie with Benedict Cumberbatch. Did you see that one? and he has to solve this code, like, or whatever, like, and it could have been something similar to that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have a certain code, and if they can get through, then they can find the way that they can listen to their radios. I suppose that won the war. That's what they say. What won the
a typo won the war.
A typo won the war.
There you go.
I don't know how he finds this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's usually just lad Bible, but I do go more in depth sometimes.
That's it. I like that. I do like that. Episode 21 of No Shame. Absolute pleasure to have you in.
Thanks.
You're an inspiration to and keep doing what you're doing, because it's very inspiring to see somebody just sticking to their own frame of mind, following what they want to do, being free, and chasing what they want to do. Absolute pleasure. Put it there. Pleasure.